Today's lesson is about adverbs. Adverbs are more complicated than adjectives. You might remember that adjectives describe only nouns and pronouns. Well, adverbs describe verbs, but they also describe adjectives and other adverbs. I'm going to show you two types of adverbs in this lesson: adverbs of manner and adverbs of degree. I'll cover more about adverbs in later lessons, but for now, let's have a look at adverbs of manner. To start off, I'm going to show you a comparison of adjectives and adverbs. Let's look at the charts. The first chart uses adjectives in sentences with linking verbs. The adjectives describe the objects in the sentences, which are linked to the subjects. The subjects are pronouns, but they're the same thing as the objects, which are nouns. Let me show you what I mean. The first sentence is, "They are slow animals." They is a pronoun that stands for animals. Anyway, the adjective is slow. Maybe we're talking about sloths. Those guys are really slow. Then we have, "She is a careful driver." What kind of driver is she? She's a careful driver. So how could we say the same things but put the focus on the action instead of the subjects? That's what we did in these first two sentences. We could say, "They move slowly." The answer to the question, how do they move? They move slowly. If you look back at the first sentence, you'll see that if this is the answer to a question, the question is going to be different. They are slow animals. The question might be, what do you know about sloths? Or what kind of animals are sloths? They're slow animals. The focus is on the sloths, in this case, they. So slow describes the animals. In this sentence, "they move slowly" would answer a question more like, how do they move? They move slowly. So slowly is describing an action, how they move. The other sentence can be changed to, "She drives carefully." How does she drive? She drives carefully. Are you with me? Let's look at the rules. Rule number 1. Adverbs of manner describe action verbs. They tell us how the action was performed. He spoke softly, and she dances gracefully. Rule number 2. Adverbs of manner usually come after the verb or after the verb plus the object. Don't put adverbs of manner between the verb and the object. For example, we can say, "He sang beautifully," and we can say, "He sang the song beautifully." But we can't say, "He sang beautifully the song." That's incorrect. Rule number 3, do not use an adverb after a linking verb. Use an adjective after a linking verb. Just an adjective. We can say, "She looks happy," but we can't say, "She looks happily." We can say, "The flowers smell sweet," but we can't say, "The flowers smell sweetly." That just doesn't make sense. You can't talk about flowers smelling things with their noses. They don't have noses. Smell is a linking verb. Rule number 4. To form adjectives of manner, add an ly to most adjectives. For example, we can turn the adjective beautiful into an adverb by adding ly and making it beautifully. We can take cheerful and make it cheerfully. This is so easy, right? How about if we look at happy? Add an ly and it becomes happily. Okay, there's a spelling change. I should probably make some spelling videos, but for now, know this one. If a word has more than one syllable and it ends in a y, you have to change the y to I and add es or ly, depending on the word. This one, happy, is an adjective, and we want to make it an adverb, so we're going to add an ly. You still have to change that y to an I before you can add ly. Just trust me here. For the adjective soft, we add the ly and it becomes softly. Now that's all fun and easy, but I have to tell you this. Not all words that end in ly are adverbs. You didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you? No, adjectives such as friendly, lonely, ugly, and lovely have an ly, but they're still adjectives. And there are some nouns and verbs that have ly too. For example, there's reply, which is a verb, and supply, which is a noun. Most words that end in ly are adverbs, but not all of them. Just watch for that. Rule number 5. Some adverbs of manner have the same form as the related adjective. To create an adverb, don't add ly to these words. Early already has an ly. It would be weird to say earlyly. No, we don't need two lys. Then there's fast. We don't say fastly. So fast can be either an adjective, like he drives a fast car, or it can be an adverb. He drives too fast. Then there's hard. Actually, there is a word hardly, and it is an adverb, but it's not the adverb form of hard. If something is hard, it's difficult, or it's not soft. The adverb hard means when something is difficult. Let me give you an example that's not on the chart. Learning English is hard work. In this sentence, hard means difficult. But if I say he is studying hard to improve his English, I'm talking about how he's studying. Now, if I were to say he's hardly studying, this means he's not studying much at all. It's kind of the opposite of studying hard. I hope that makes sense to you. The last one here is late. Again, lately is a word, but it's not the adverb equivalent to the adjective late. So it's correct for us to say they eat fast, but it's incorrect to say they eat fastly. Rule number 6, and our final rule about adverbs of manner. This rule is a very irregular word. The adverb form of good is well. You just have to memorize this one. The good news is that it's very common. Don't get confused when you hear native speakers using good as an adverb. It's incorrect, but some people do it anyway. It's correct to say, my new laptop works well. It is incorrect to say, my new laptop works good. I don't know how well British people follow correct grammar rules, but a lot of Americans make a lot of grammar mistakes. The problem is that grammar isn't taught much in the United States after elementary school. A few things are taught in secondary school, but it's mostly about writing and literature. I think we should be required to take one semester of grammar in college, but it's just not a priority for students or for people who design higher education curricula. So, we've covered adverbs of manner. Next, we're going to take a look at adverbs of degree. Adverbs of degree tell us how weak or strong a description we're talking about. Here on the weaker end, we have somewhat. If a man is somewhat handsome, he's okay. He's not gorgeous. We probably aren't that attracted to him. He's good as a friend. Sorry if that's mean, but you know it's true. Moving to something a little bit stronger, you might use fairly or pretty. If you took a test and it was maybe a little bit difficult, but not so much, you might say, that test was fairly easy, not too hard, not very easy either. Or you could say, I'm pretty sure I passed that test. Don't get confused with pretty. I know that's an adjective that means someone is attractive, but it's also an adverb that means a little more than somewhat. Now, if we want to say something a little bit stronger, we might use really, or very, or so, or even quite. I'm really happy that you're watching my videos. I'm also very happy to know that there are some people who are interested in improving their English grammar. It's so important to me that I'm not wasting my time making these videos. Making these videos is quite a lot of work, but it's something I enjoy, and I really want to be helpful to as many people as I can. See how I used those? Okay, sometimes we're going to be very strong in what we want to say. In that case, we could use extremely. It's extremely important to keep learning new things, especially when we get older. Okay, let's have a look at the rules. Rule number 1. Use adverbs of degree to make adjectives or other adverbs stronger or weaker. For example, the movie was somewhat long. Not a lot, just somewhat. The students did very well on the test. Awesome. Our team played pretty badly last night. That's sad if you're a sports fan. Rule number 2. Adverbs of degree usually come before the adjective or adverb. So it's okay to say, it was really good. But we can't say, it was good really. Okay, there is a way we can say this. If I saw a movie and you didn't see it, but I want to tell you that it was a good movie, I could say, it was good, if you asked me what I thought of it. But maybe you heard from another friend that it really wasn't very good at all. Then I could say, it was good, really. In this case, the really is for emphasis. Really, I'm not kidding. It was good. Ordinarily, we wouldn't just say, it was good, really, just if we're emphasizing that it was when you seem to think it wasn't. Also, we would need to use a comma between good and really. Got that? Okay, rule number 3. Do not use pretty, fairly, or somewhat in negative statements. We can say, she was somewhat tired, but we can't say, she wasn't somewhat tired. We could say, she wasn't tired, or we could say, she wasn't very tired, but not somewhat. The last thing I want to show you about adverbs of degree is how we use these in America to be more formal or more informal. Extremely, quite, very, and somewhat are more formal. Most Americans don't use these very much. Most of us are not very formal. I notice I'm using very a lot. Maybe I'm a little formal sometimes. Anyway, really, pretty, and kind of are less formal. For example, a formal sentence would be, the results of the 2 tests were quite different. And an example of an informal sentence would be, I'm pretty sad that my friend moved. I haven't been adding any practice exercises in my videos, but I think I should. Let's try some now. Remember that I said some adverbs are weaker and some are stronger? Well, I'll give 2 sentences. The first sentence will have an adjective or an adverb underlined. The second sentence will have an adverb of degree that is bold. You guess whether the bold adverb of degree makes the second sentence stronger than the first or weaker than the first. I'll give you a moment to think about these before I tell you what the correct answer is. Ready? Number 1. The documentary I watched was interesting. As you can see, we've underlined interesting. So if I say, the documentary was pretty interesting, does that sound stronger or weaker than the first sentence? What do you think? If you said weaker, you're right. Pretty interesting is not as strong as just saying it's interesting. How about this one? The car was in poor condition, and the car was in really poor condition. Which one sounds stronger? The first or the second? Feel free to pause the video if you want more time to think about these. Are you ready for the answer? This time, the second sentence is stronger. Did you get it right? Awesome. Let's do some more. Number 3. The first one is, Susan studied hard for her test. And Susan studied very hard for her test. Is the second one stronger or weaker? If we use very in front of an adjective or adverb, it's stronger. So this one is stronger. Number 4, Juan sings well. And Juan sings fairly well. What do you think? Remember, fairly is lower than average on the scale. This one is weaker. Are you getting this? I think you need more practice. If you don't, you're done. You've mastered adverbs of degree. For the rest of you, let's do number 5. I'm hungry. And the second one, I'm so hungry. That exclamation point is a clue. This one becomes stronger. Number 6, my sister drives slowly. And my sister drives somewhat slowly. Do you know? The second one here is weaker.
My sister drives slowly. My sister drives somewhat slowly. I guess she doesn't drive that slowly. Okay, let's do 2 more, and then you should have this pretty well. I hope you do anyway. Number 7, Lee felt tired, and Lee felt extremely tired. This one's kind of easy, I think. The second sentence is stronger than the first. Did you get that one right? I bet you did. And the last one, number 8, is the restaurant was busy, and the restaurant was quite busy. What do you think? This one is also stronger.
If you got them all right, go do something very nice for yourself. Have a piece of chocolate cake or go for a nice walk. You've done well. And if you didn't get them all right, that's okay. You can come back and watch again. Just be kind to yourself. I'm always saying to remember to be kind to others, but you should be kind to yourself too. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.